Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking about the 1927 peace dollar, going over its specific history, its value, but more importantly, the different conditions at which it gets a lot more valuable that you want to know about, as well as the VAMs, which are sort of small varieties that you want to be looking for extra close on a few of these coins. They'll appear and make them worth more money. Then we'll wrap up with mint errors. This video is sponsored by Whatnot, a live stream auctions and shopping app that I frequently sell coins and collectibles on. My link at the top of the description gives you $15 off your first order when you sign up through it, so definitely check that out. Plus, it's a great way to support my channel since any buy that you make with a new account gives me a nice bonus too. Hope to see you on some of those auctions. Let's get into the video. The way we'll start talking about them, 1927, towards the end of the peace dollars, they're winding down the mintages that are fulfilling the Pittman Act, which basically says the U.S. will coin a bunch of U.S.-made silver to send to the British at cost so that they can fulfill their obligations, especially with their colonies, saying that, the Germans in World War I had said, hey, they don't have the silver to back up the promise that they're making with their paper currency. That sort of spooked people in other countries, and the British needed silver to fulfill it. So that's why the peace dollar, the genesis of the ramp up in silver dollar production, though again, 1922, 23, there's huge amounts produced. 27, there's a lot less. Now, these coins would come back in 1934 and 35, but they really mostly circulated in the western United States. A lot of them ended up just sitting in bags of 1,000 at the mint, or in certain private hoards. They'd think about bringing them back in 1964, but it was pretty clear that all of the supply would be bought up by dealers and sold to collectors for markup, wasn't being used for the intents and purposes that coins should be used for, so they canceled them and melted them down. The specifics on this date and mint mark, it's pretty rare. It's the second lowest mintage, again, behind only the 1928, the next year at the Philadelphia Mint. Though this one is more commonly found in mint state, so in really nice, well-preserved conditions. The quality control was pretty solid, but it's still a better date. I mean, it's more expensive than an average date coin. So if you do have a 1927, don't treat it like it's, some 1922 or 23 where there's really no scarcity. The coins do come pretty heavily bag marked. Like I said, they get put into bags of 1,000, plus they're sort of clinking around as they're getting struck and falling on top of each other. So a lot of them move towards mint state 63, where that means there can be a fair amount of hits on the coin. But again, the Philadelphia Mint, much higher quality control than Denver, especially San Francisco, was notorious for poor quality control on these peace dollars and really in their 20s coinage. So any better examples are less rare than some of the other ones like 25S and 28S in 1928, but the coin itself is still sort of special. As you can see, mint state 63, a $200 coin. That's more than most dates. XF40 being $45, probably in contrast with like $30 on the less valuable stuff, and that mintage has 848,000. The conditions where it really ramps up, anything scaling beyond mint state 63, you can see that it just gets exponential. First, it multiplies by 3, effectively multiplies by 3 again, and then a huge jump to mint state 66, where there are very few of these known. In terms of the VAM, you want to look for the doubled motto. You can see the doubling sort of in the E and the W pretty well. This is the only 1927 piece VAM in the top 50 or elite 30 lists, which is what I focus on for the most part. And the AU grade's probably double mint state 63. It's only a small premium. Same thing percentage-wise with the mint state 65. But hey, I mean, if you've got a mint state 65 coin and it's in a holder, you want to look closely, see if it isn't one of the doubled motto coins, in which case maybe you can buy it unattributed and make a quick flip, seeing as it is the variety coinage. In terms of some of the sort of the mint errors, we see a struck through reverse right here. Something got between the die that was used to strike the coin and the planchet. This one sold for $200, probably 13 or 14 years ago. This one, and that was the only 1927 mint error I could find. This one is pretty special. It's a flip over, double struck in collar coin. You can see some of the rays in the Liberty's face. Somehow, underneath, somehow the coin literally flipped over and was struck again. A few of those opposite side details still remain, also the raise in the neck. This one sold for $7,650, so that's a pretty rare coin. Just sort of, but again, not extremely obvious if you're not looking closely, so you can always take a closer look at any piece dollar you have and see if something like that is on there. And then there's also this cracked planchet, a little more attainable and much less of a value multiplier, but maybe it's some impurities in the metal, or the it doesn't bond, the planchet doesn't bond that well to the rest of, as a whole unit. So when the force of a strike is applied, it sort of cracks outward. But anyways, that's what we've got today. Really focus on that VAM and the doubled motto, and then realize, these conditions can really matter for a slightly rare date like 1927 that you should be saving anyways. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to visit our website, treasuretown.com, to stay up to date on everything going on the channel and possibly get some great deals on coins and collectibles. We look forward to seeing you on our future videos, and best wishes until then.